Did you know that there is an entire industry online that's out there teaching individuals how to generate leads for local businesses, local contractors, local home service providers? And they teach these individuals that you, as the business owner, are out there starving for leads. You don't know how to get your own leads using the internet. So, what they teach them is how to build websites that they rank on Google. It's basically called the rank and rent model. They teach them lead generation. They teach them how to build ugly websites that they can rank on Google that will generate those leads that they can pass on over to you as this business owner. And I want to talk about this industry because that's where I got my start, got me into website design, SEO, helping business owners with their own properties, and why I see this as a dying industry, which is great because eventually you, as a local business owner, contractor, home service business provider, this is something that you need to work on for yourself, anyways. Build up your own properties, build up your own Google business profile, and generate your own leads moving forward. What's up there, guys? Izzy here once again with Get Busy LLC, helping local businesses, local contractors, local home service business providers understand this internet website design to get them more leads for their business. In this video, I want to talk about this industry. Call it what you want to call it. I think they call it the rank and rent model. They call it lead generation model. They call it digital properties. They call it build your own simple, ugly website and rank it on Google to generate leads for contractors or home service business owners, whatever you want to call it. This industry to this day still exists out here, especially go on YouTube and things like that, teaching individuals how to build a side hustle, how to make extra money by building out these websites and helping local businesses that are supposedly starving for leads, helping them get these leads, building these assets, and then they can, like I said, rent these properties out, sell them the leads, and make that side hustle doing that. And quite honestly, it's actually a pretty genius model when you think about it, especially back when I started. It was late 2016, I believe, I was introduced to this whole process. I jumped into it in about 2017 and started to learn this rank and rent, lead generation, building ugly websites, whatever you want to call it, ranking them on Google, generating these leads, and then passing them over to a local business owner. The concept seemed like an absolute no brainer, especially, like I said, in 2017. But the problem is that that was 8 years ago. And to this day, I'm kind of floored that there's people still out there teaching this model. Does it actually work? I don't know. I think it's going to eventually die off. And I strongly believe that a lot of these people that are teaching this stuff, they're making their money on teaching this stuff, not actually out there doing it. When I made the start back in, like I said, 2017, I got in and I paid this group about 4,500 bucks, I believe, to learn these techniques and learn these methods on how to do this, which at the time was scary as hell spending that type of money. But my tenacity and my stubbornness to learn this crap, especially because I saw the potential in it, especially being in the construction industry. Like I said, I drove a concrete truck. I knew about contractors. I worked for Lowe's. I delivered a lot of if stuff to contractors. And I understood that none of those guys knew jack shit about this internet thing. And the potential was actually there to help these guys generate leads for their business. The problem with it is that they teach these individuals, they make it sound like it's super easy. All you have to do is find an obscure niche, go out there and build a website, get it to rank on Google, start generating these leads, and then start handing off these leads to these hungry business owners that are looking for these leads anyways. And they're going to pay you to either rent the website you build out or pay you a commission on some of those leads that you send them out. It sounds all great and everything, but with the way the internet's changing, this local search is changing, I just honestly think this whole thing is dying. The great thing about it was back in the day when I started was that I was able to build these websites. I built up properties and things like that, and I was able to hone in my skills, understand how the search engine worked, what exactly Google was looking for, ranking these websites up. But at the same time, another thing that I learned from doing it, I did it for like maybe 4 years. I started to do that, was that it was way more difficult than they make it out to be. Sometimes you'd build a website, you get it all structured and everything, and it would take months and months to rank this website. Other times you build a website and it ranks extremely quickly in a certain market for a specific niche, but then you don't have any business owners that even want the leads. They got plenty of leads. They think you're a scammer, which rightfully so. It sounds crazy. Some guy calls me up, says, "Hey, man, I get you a bunch of leads." I mean, to this day, I still get people that say, "I can help you with your YouTube channel. I can get you leads for your business." Get the hell out of my face with that. I don't believe these people. I tell them to go to hell. Plus, I think it's a dying model, anyways. To this day, I still have websites online. I got a website out in Salinas, California. There's over 100,000 people there. I built a junk removal rank and rent website out there. And when I first built it out, it was pumping out leads like pretty good. Now I go in there, I type in junk removal in Salinas. It shows up number one right underneath the organic listings. It maybe gets one or two calls a month. It's trash. I set up another one over in Santa Barbara for junk removal. Again, the niche of junk removal. You go on to, I'm sure you can go on Google right now and type in junk removal in Santa Barbara. That website shows up towards the top of the Google search results, and it probably gets maybe 3, 4 calls every single month. What the hell's the point of that? It's trash. So here's the model, how the whole concept, in theory, how it actually works. So let's say you got really, really good at doing this and you wanted to build a website for roofing contractor in Fresno, California. Yes, I know that's a very, very competitive market. But if you were to manage, if you were able to build some kind of website that ranked for that specific keyword out in Fresno, and you started pumping out leads, some roofer out there is going to pay you big money for that, right? So here's the problem with that. So let's go ahead and do a search on my phone here for that exact search term, roofing contractor in Fresno. Check it out. Advertisement, advertisement, advertising. You keep scrolling, look at that. Another ad. Keep scrolling. You finally get to the organics. And if you keep scrolling down, now there's stupid questions and answers. Keep scrolling down. Now you got Yelp. And this is where your website would eventually rank. You think anybody's really going to scroll down that far? Hell no, they're not going to scroll down that far, especially when people are making the search on their phone. And 8 years ago, people weren't searching on their phone as much as they do today. So, what is the answer to that? They'll tell you, well, don't build a website for Fresno, build one for a smaller town in that location. Okay, let's do the exact same thing. There's a town in Fresno, right next to Fresno, it's called Clovis. Much, much smaller area. I think it might be under 100,000 people. Honestly, it's a nicer town. People there have a lot more money. So the theory behind that would be, let's build a roofing contractor website for Clovis. It's a smaller city, less competition for that exact keyword. Let's rank a website all the way to the top, and we'll start getting those leads to that contractor. Let's say I went out there and went ahead and bought the domain name for Clovis Roofing Services. I built out the website, built out the homepage, the title tags, got pictures, wrote the content, built out location pages, built out service pages, built out about page, built a contact page, got a phone number that I could register for that website. I mean, I went all out. I spent hours and hours and hours. And if not, I hired somebody to help me build all this crap out. Let's just say I did that. Let's say I went all out and did that. And by some miracle, 6 months down the road, I got that website to rank for Clovis Roofing Company in Clovis. Let's see what happens. So there, I typed in roofing contractor in Clovis. Check it out. Let's take a look at on this first page of Google. What do you see here? Nothing but a shit ton of ads. And then you're going to scroll down, and what do you see? Another ad in the Google Map listing, the 3 Google Map listings, question and answer section, and then finally you scroll down and you finally see the organic listings. What are the chances somebody's going to click down that far? I would say virtually zero. Like I explained earlier, those 2 websites I have for junk removal, which is a higher search volume for each one of those towns, yeah, maybe people click on those websites, but nobody's calling them. Nobody's filling out the email forms. They're basically dead in the water. And why is that? It's because people are doing their searches on their phone now, and you can see how much real estate all the advertisement takes at the top there. And if I'm a customer, the only thing I'm clicking on are these map listings here in the search results. I'm not going any further than that. I'm going to completely waste my time doing anything like that. And the thing is, too, when you look at the Google Map listings, you see reviews. You can tap on them. You can see pictures. You can see all kinds of different things. And that's where the customers are going nowadays. And in a way, that's great because now you as a local business owner can work on your own personal website, on your own business profile, and rank that bastard to the top and generate those leads for yourself. And the crazy thing about all of this is that I still go online. Like I said, I still see these videos on YouTube. I see these groups. I see people with like 7,000 members in a group, teaching them this rank and rent, lead generation, building, telling them how to build these websites and rank them on Google and rent them out to business owners. And they charge like anywhere from like $7,000 to $10,000 to teach these people this crap that doesn't even work. And moving forward, I don't think it's going to work. And I always thought to myself, even 5 years ago, I used to start thinking about it. I'm like, how in the hell is Google going to allow this going forward? Sooner or later, it's going to want to get rid of all these lead generating websites out there, because when you look at some of these sites, they reek of fake. You could just tell they're not real businesses. And customers, there's something about customers that eventually can sniff this stuff out. They want that grit, they want that real feel of a real business owner. As I'm scrolling through these map listings and I take a look at some of these map listings, I see individuals, I see pictures, I see guys with their trucks with their logos on them. I see the work, some of the stuff they've done. I click on their websites. You could just tell that it's a real legitimate website with their actual information, their pictures, their reviews, their links to the Better Business Bureau, all that crap. Those are the things that real customers are going to gravitate to, especially moving forward. And I said, especially when people are using the phone to do all of these searches. And in my honest opinion, all these people out there teaching this rank and rent model, I'm sure they made their money in the beginning when it was, like I said, I made money doing it in the beginning, like 7, 8 years ago. I didn't make all that much, but it was enough to teach me these skills and methods that I now teach individuals how to do this stuff on their own. And I still always often think too, I'm like, okay, if this is so easy to do, why isn't the business owner doing it? And they always tell you, well, the business owner is busy. So was I. I was driving a truck. Sometimes I was out working for Lowe's. Sometimes I'd work 12 hours because I live in a real rural area. So I made long deliveries. I'd be working for 12 hours and I was coming home and then work on these sites. What's to stop the local business owner from doing it? If I could do it, why wouldn't they be able to do it? And that's one of the reasons that I started to build this channel and show business owners that they can do this stuff for themselves. It's really not all that difficult, especially if you learn how to do it right and somebody shows you how to do this correctly. This is the reason I created my templates. I always tell people I created those templates for myself. So when people called me up and they needed a website, I had these templates and designs ready to rock and roll to help these people build up their website. I give them their website, show them how to rank it, or it sometimes would rank on its own in their own town, hook it up to the Google Business Profile, and they can start pumping out leads with their own digital properties that they have online. And then Google's really, really strong emphasis on these map listings. Moving forward, I really think that's where most people are going to go. I don't think Google's going to get rid of that, because Google needs to show somebody something organic online, or else people are not going to show up. So what Google's doing, from what I've seen, is just constantly just looking for the three best in any industry in any location to place at the top of those search results. So for example, let's say Santa Barbara, let's say there's 15 different carpet cleaning businesses out there. What Google's doing is going through its own algorithm and its own system. It's looking for what it deems to be the three best carpet cleaning businesses in that location and place them at the map, in that map listing, to start giving those businesses leads to create competition, so that the other 12 carpet cleaning businesses want a piece of that action and they will pay for ads to get placed above them. That's the whole thing Google plays. And if you're a great business owner, you really are one of the best in your location for whatever service you provide. It is your job to prove to Google that you are the best, so you can get placed in that 3-pack and kick the crap out of your competition. And this is what this whole channel is all about. This is why I made this channel, to help people with that. Local businesses want to do this stuff on their own. Well, at the same time, if somebody just doesn't have the time, doesn't have the mental energy to go through and do all this stuff on their own, I help some individuals that want help with that, and I do it for them instead. So that's what I think about this whole rank and rent, the lead generation, this digital assets, whatever you want to call it these days. I think it's a bunch of crap. And as the years go moving forward, it's going to completely wipe out that industry. Can you still probably do some of it? I think you can. There's certain industries that you probably can do. Maybe like some kind of lead generating website. That's just got to be really, really obscure niche. But at that time, still, you're going to be rolling the dice. You're going to be building a website. You're going to spend all that time, energy, and money creating the content, maybe going out there and getting a few backlinks, all that stuff, and you're just rolling the dice, and you're wasting a lot of time to rank these websites and get them on the top, and eventually not ever find anybody who would actually even take the leads. And even if you did, that business owner eventually is going to figure it out. I mean, I would. I'll say, why the hell am I paying Joe Schmo here for these stupid leads. I can do this shit myself. He did it. I could do it. I'll just hire somebody to build that website for me. And that's exactly what it will end up happening. So if you guys need any of this help, you guys want to learn how to do all this stuff for your own, all my links are in the description below, where I show people exactly on my whole SEO process, the Google Map listings, all that stuff. There's a link on there too. If you want to book a call with me, want to learn this stuff, need some extra help, want me to do it for you if that's something that you're thinking about doing. Because when it's all said and done, I mean, all this SEO does take some work in building up the credibility of your business. One of those things is building out backlinks. And I've recently created a video talking about how you can start creating your own backlinks and do them at your own pace and do them relatively cheaply. You got that link right here for that video right here. And that's all I got for you guys today. Until next time.